Hello YouTube, welcome back to another Driving and the News, the first one for October of 2023. The weather is going to start getting a little bit more chilly, maybe some snow this winter season, we'll see. But wanted to thank all of the viewers that have tuned in to this type of video, this news recording history type video. Most people are understanding that this is important. It's important to record our local history. A lot of these smaller local news stories will get lost to history if we don't upload them. The big stories won't, but here we go. Enjoy.
This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. It's 63 degrees at 7:40 on this Monday, October 2nd. I'm Scott Stanford. Here's what's happening. It's a Monday morning court appearance for the former president. And as he says on social media, the whole case is a sham. House Representative Matt Gaetz said he'll try to remove House Speaker Kevin McCarthy after McCarthy got help from Democrats to avoid the government shutdown. Could the third time be the charm as the panel looking to figure out congestion pricing in New York City meets again today? Supreme Court fights to get back to work today. Not fights, they'll just get back with issues like gun rights, race, and free speech are up for debate. Powerball jackpot up over $1 billion for tonight's drawing.
Greed is right. Greed works.
Is your greed worth $2? I think so. Checking sports, Jets came back, but they lost to the Chiefs by 3. Mets fire manager Buck Showalter. Liberty are in the WNBA Finals. They face off with the Aces. AccuWeather, mostly sunny today. We're going to get high up around 77 degrees. Wednesday news time, 7:41. Traffic and transit on the ones. Back to the roads. Here's Karen Stewart.
And to transit, North Jersey Coastline rail service is suspended both ways between Bayhead and Long Branch due to a motor vehicle issue on the tracks. New Jersey Transit rail tickets and passes are being cross-honored by NJ Transit buses and private buses. The Path Journal Square to 33rd Street line is delayed, not because of mechanical problems, they told us, but because of equipment problems. City-bound C trains are express only from Canal Street to Columbus Circle because of a switching problem at Canal there. Long Islanders, the Meadowbrook southbound, south of M4 for Hempstead Turnpike, we've got a vehicle fire. We've got the right lane blocked. We've got the Palisades with an accident southbound in Clarkstown in Rockland County at exit 10. The left lane there is blocked. The northbound Garden State Parkway local lanes has a big accident near the Raritan tolls. 4 lanes of 6 are blocked with this new accident. 40 minutes in at the GW Bridge, 35 at the Lincoln, and 50 at the Holland as we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. And the eastbound Bell Parkway, Pennsylvania Avenue accident is now gone. 1 lane that was blocked has been reopened. Things are doing a little bit better into that stretch. If it's not gone yet, it's almost gone. Our next report is 7:51. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Well, former President Trump will indeed be in court today for the start of his civil trial. Last night on social media, Mr. Trump went off on everyone involved in the case, says he's ready to fight for his reputation.
Donald Trump arriving back at Trump Tower last night and now voluntarily going to court in Center Street this morning. Opening statements in the civil fraud lawsuit brought by Attorney General Tish James. Since it's a civil matter, this is all about money and a lot of it, and not jail time. CBS legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum says Trump's legal team, though, have legitimate questions.
An appellate court had already ruled that some of the claims against President Trump expired under the statute of limitations. Yet the trial judge is still including them as part of the case against Trump. The president's lawyers will demand to know why. There are other unresolved issues. For instance, given that Trump never defaulted on these loans and the banks were repaid and in fact made money, who is being harmed here?
The former president expected to be called as a witness, as are his sons Donald Jr. and Eric. Dozens of witnesses in the end could testify in a trial that could last into December. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM at Trump Tower.
Wins News Time, 7:43. Republican Florida Representative Matt Gaetz says he's going to try to oust House Speaker Kevin McCarthy from his leadership position after McCarthy worked with Democrats to secure a stopgap funding bill that averted a government shutdown over the weekend.
The Florida Republican accused the Speaker of reneging on a pledge to rein in spending and threatened a motion to remove him from the speakership this week. House Republicans were split on the potential move, which would likely require support from Democrats. Democrats.
Congressman Gates has been informally courting some Democrats, but wouldn't say if he has votes to remove the speaker. If that vote happens this week, Democratic leaders say they will hold a meeting to determine how to proceed.
Nicole Killian reporting. Meanwhile, congressional supporters of Ukraine say they're not giving up on a bill after to keep the government open, and it did not include the president's request for more funding to the war-torn nation. President Biden assured Ukraine more support is coming.
There's an overwhelming number of Republicans and Democrats in both the House and the Senate who support Ukraine. Let's vote on it. And I want to assure our American allies and the American people and the people of Ukraine that you can count on our support. We will not walk away.
Last week, nearly half of the House Republicans voted to knock off $300 million from a bill to train Ukrainian soldiers and buy more weapons. Wins News Time, 7:45. Congestion pricing. You know it, you love it, and it hasn't even started yet. Today, the Traffic Mobility Review Board meets for the third time as they'll try to figure out the tolling structure for the upcoming congestion pricing tolls. The meeting is open to the public. It's going to be live streamed by the MTA. Again, it's today at 3:30 p.m. at 2 Broadway. The panel will again make recommendations on how much and who does not have to pay. Tragedy in Union, New Jersey on Sunday as two people were killed in a fire at a two-family home. The blaze broke out around 5:30 in the morning on Grandview Avenue. Firefighters worked to try and save the two people trapped on the top floor, but they did not make it. Guido Diaz is a neighbor who spoke to CBS 2.
I heard the bang, and then that woke me up. I looked through my window, and I saw, I heard voices, and the neighbors screaming.
Other neighbors say they felt their home shake from the explosion. One man who lived on the bottom floor of the house suffered injuries. The cause of the blaze still under investigation. Gunshots outside a lounge in Jersey City yesterday morning. 5 people wounded in the shooting. Police say a 20-year-old woman was shot several times. She's expected to survive. 3 other victims were taken to the hospital in stable condition. One other guy, a 24-year-old, was found in a car that crashed while trying to get away from the area. He was also shot. The Supreme Court is back in session today. Plenty of unfinished business to get to for the justices. They'll revisit issues like race and free speech, gun rights, government power. They're also likely to hear a major abortion case, one that could affect the availability of a drug that's being used in more than half of pregnancy terminations. Hey, it's been a nice 3-year pause on federal student loan payments, right? But this week, 28 million borrowers in the U.S. are going to have to start paying back.
The average federal student loan borrower owes more than $37,000 in debt, payments averaging between $200 and $300 a month. A big toll on borrowers like Michael Lopez in Anaheim, California, already struggling with stubbornly high inflation and rising interest rates.
Not only do you have to figure out all of that, but now you need to do it while the cost of everything's fluctuating so much.
It's a harsh reality for borrowers disappointed by the Supreme Court's decision in June, striking down President Biden's plan to cancel up to $20,000 in debt for millions of Americans.
Correspondent Elizabeth Schulze, a 9-year-old girl, has gone missing while camping with her family in upstate New York. Officials say Charlotte Senna was last seen Saturday night in Morrow Lake State Park, about 35 miles north of Albany. Here's Governor Kathy Hochul.
Last evening, she went out on a bike ride. It wasn't dark. It was right around dinner time, and did a couple of loops with close friends she considers her cousins. And then she decided, after going around Troop A, she said she just wanted to go around one more time by herself. Be that big girl, do it by herself. Literally 15 minutes later, she hadn't come back yet. And that's really when the nightmare begins.
And drones and dogs are being used in the search for this little girl. There was an Amber Alert issued yesterday morning. Wins News Time, 7:48.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on my morning commute as we listen together to today's local news snippet in the New York Metropolitan area. I truly appreciate the support that you guys have given me, and we'll see you on the next Driving and the News.